right deep inside you. When will you ever let it shine from within and cast all of your fears aside? You'll see the light until that day comes.
Hello, welcome back to Kingdom Reviews. I'm your host, Future Keybearer. Today we'll finally be visiting the 100-Acre Wood. So let's go back to before our first visit to Olympus Coliseum, when our heroes got summoned by Merlin to Hollow Bastion to show them the Winnie the Pooh book.
Well, I happened to stumble across this in the Zero District.
What the hell was it doing there? Last we saw it, it was in Merlin's possession.
Now, just a moment. Leon and the others need to hear this too.
Why? Like, maybe Leon as the de facto leader, but why everybody else? After Merlin leaves, Sora decides to take a trip into the book, which is now a pop-up, I guess.
In fact, I was just about to do my stoutness exercises. Would you like to join me, Sora?
Sure, I'm game.
Honestly, I'm surprised that's not a minigame. Ah, shit, did I sit on the controller again?
Huh?
Holy shit, Pooh's a Jedi!
Now send a distress signal, and then inform the Senate that all aboard were killed.
Or a Sith, that works too. So Sora gets knocked clear out of the book. Apparently, Donald and Goofy need his help with the Heartless.
Did you bring the book, Sora?
To be fair, I probably would have forgotten it too. But of course, the Heartless try to steal the book. But they don't make it too far.
Think it's okay?
Well, Sid fixed it once, he could probably do it again. So Sora goes back in to check on Pooh, but for some reason, Pooh has suddenly forgotten Sora and everyone in the wood. How the hell did that happen? Nominee! Sora goes back to ask Merlin for advice, and Merlin surmises that the Heartless took a few pages from the book, and that returning the pages will set things right. So yeah, this is the setup for the Torn Pages side quest, but to its credit, it's nowhere near as annoying as it was in the first game. Instead of being hidden in places you largely have no business checking otherwise, now they're in chests that are pretty hard to miss. Granted, it's less of a challenge, but it's also less of a pain in the ass. So we get the first page back and... ouch! Instant concussion! Seriously, I know Sora's resilient and I can see a situation where he walks away from that honeypot, but... did you hear that impact? Regardless, we see Piglet also being thrown around by the wind, so we help him down. Only for him to get blown away after Pooh arrives. And so we get our first minigame where, okay, hold on! Sora has grown a lot in the last year. There's no way in hell one balloon is still carrying him. Anyway, a simple minigame where you have to protect yourself and Pooh from flying debris. After saving Piglet, we get a sweet moment where Pooh's memories of him come back. But he still doesn't remember Sora. The next page is Rabbit's house, where Pooh crashes into Eeyore's. Huh. They turn Pooh into a kamikaze bear.
Pooh, this is Eeyore. You know Eeyore, don't you?
I think the last thing Eeyore needs is for someone to act like they don't know him.
What could have happened to him?
You know damn well what happened! Piglet figures that Pooh's hunger is making him forget. Okay. So Eeyore leads everyone to a pile of honey pots. Of course, Pooh helps himself. But as it turns out, the pots belong to Rabbit. Once he hears about Pooh's amnesia, he also figures eating will help. But there's no honey left here, so we need to go find some. Thus we get probably the best minigame in the series, where Pooh and Sora ride a honey pot all throughout the book. It is amazing fun.
There now, Pooh. Have just as much as you'd like.
That is a dangerous phrase. But it doesn't seem to work, and Pooh gets himself stuck in Rabbit's front door.
Again?
After getting him out, Pooh inexplicably remembers Rabbit and Eeyore. But still no Sora. You know, it gets to the point where it starts to feel personal. Next page is Kingo and Rue's house.
Eeyore told me Pooh wasn't quite himself. I thought this might be just what the poor dear needed.
BS, even modern medicine can't do that.
Tears are wonderful things. The tops are made of rubber. The bottoms are made of springs.
See? Musical moments! Do it! Letting it go. Letting it go. And Tigger quite presumably thinks that the medicine is for him, not even knowing what it is, and takes it.
Oh dear.
Come on, let's go after him.
Oh cool, is the minigame trying to keep up with Tigger or something? No, we just go talk to him. Tigger suggests they try some bouncing to jog Pooh's memory. Which which actually isn't a bad idea. Not so much the bouncing itself, but doing a cherished activity with friends. So the minigame is actually trying to see how high you can bounce on... You know, for a character that says fuck you to physics all the time, I'm really hung up on how balloons can hold his weight. It doesn't seem to work at first, but Pooh of course remembers Tigger. But again, not Sora. The next page is the Spooky Cave, otherwise known as...
Skull.
Apparently Pooh got lost in the cave, so we have to form a search party to find him. The minigame, so wonderfully called the Expedition, sees Sora leading Piglet, Tigger, Eeyore, and Roo throughout the cavern until we reach Pooh.
I was looking for a very dear friend that I remember I made a very important promise to.
So, did you find him?
No, I looked and looked, but he doesn't seem to be anywhere.
For the last time, Pooh, Christopher Robin went to boarding school. You're not going to see him for a long time.
Gosh, I thought a jaguar had gotten you. Oh dear. I hadn't thought of that. I do hope a jaguar hasn't gone and gobbled up my friend.
You know, when you really think about it, Winnie the Pooh is a lot darker than most people think. Hell, here they're talking about people getting eaten by jungle cats.
I'd like that, Sora.
Pooh! You finally remembered!
Remembered what, Sora?
That's just too precious for words. And finally, we get our last page with Starry Hill. And it also comes with the weakest minigame of the bunch, where you have to get a honey pot off Pooh's head. We get a sweet moment of Sora promising Pooh that he'll always be in his heart, before saying goodbye to everyone. And so we end with the cover of the book getting a new image. I like the last one better. So that was the 100 Acre Wood, a marginal improvement over the first game. The minigames are a lot more fun, and I like all the little nods to other Winnie the Pooh movies. Like the moving boxes outside of Kanga's house referencing Piglet's big movie, and I'm pretty sure the Snowy Mountain and Honey Slider is from the Tigger movie. But the biggest one is Pooh's Grand Adventure. Of course we got Skull, but we also got the nice peaceful spot in Balloon Bounce, and while A Blustery Rescue is obviously based off Blustery Day, I feel like having Piglet jump out of his tree is from Grand Adventure. Hell, the lesson Pooh learns is the same from the movie. Overall, this was a good bit of fun for me. Well, that's it for this episode. Tune in next time as we edge closer to the end game.